Welcome to my show, Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like and subscribe button because you are officially in with the crew. Now, remember, we're on the go right now, so I hope y'all can hear me. I'm going to keep going as if you can. If you can't, reflection, I'm going to delete it and record it. But let's just hope for the best. Okay. So with that being said, you are over here with Taritha. If you didn't know, you are officially in with the crew. Now, over here at the night school, we talk about everything dealing with do you believe in magic? Okay. So if you wasn't looking for a video dealing with a little bit, do you believe in magic? Then maybe this isn't the video for you, but hit the thumbs up button, reflection, and definitely join me back for the next video, okay? Because you never want to miss out. You never know what we have going on over here with the crew. Now, today or tonight, whenever you hit this video, we are actually talking about witchcraft and snakes, okay? Now, I'm actually going to read you a story about snakes involving witchcraft being input into the stomach, reflection, because we know even with certain diseases they can actually be sent to you, summoned to you, reflection. Okay, now this particular story is actually coming out of the Delta in Mississippi. Now, after I read a little bit of the story, I'm actually going to let you see a video from someone who actually had an experience with with their stomach and a snake actually being inside of their stomach due to witchcraft. Okay, so with that being said, reflection, get your roll up, get your pole, because you know how we do when we over here with the crew. Okay, now the story time that I'm actually reading from is actually coming out of this book. It's called The Stories of Root Workers and Hoodoo in the Mid-South by Tony Cal. Okay, so it says, a frequent phenomenon that seemed to appear in the root working and conjure culture was alleged appearance of animals, insects, and reptiles in the stomachs of clients who had been crossed. Now, spiritual healers were believed to have the ability to not only detect these type of workings, but also to be able to remove these intestinal invaders. Okay. These pathological can be found in a number of traditional healing cultures throughout the world. In this case of Southern Hoodoo, the origins are most likely African. Now, there was this folklorister by Newbell Puckett during his research in the Delta in Mississippi that some communities believe that conjurers would kill reptiles such as snakes, dry them out before grinding them into fine powders. Okay, a lot of those, we'll talk about those powders a little bit later in another video, reflection. These powders would be slipped into a victim's food and eventually turned into living snakes inside the body. Because I know what people here are like, well, Tarithia, how did the snakes get inside? Well, if you ever heard of spirit cooking, which we'll talk about in some later videos, there's different forms of magic, reflection. And remember, it's only magic if you can hide it in plain sight. So they would actually use spirit cooking to actually use dried snake skin allegedly and grind it into a powder, reflection, put it into the food, and it would manifest in the body as a actual snake. Okay, we're talking about do you believe in magic? Hit the like and subscribe button. You're over here with the crew. Now, it actually says that Puckett mentions that some variations of this type of work includes the use of powdered snake fangs or fats. Now, these can also be placed through the cracks in the victim's ceiling or inside their shoes, reflections. Snake blood can be added to milk, whereby the victim will ingest the powder. Okay. It is also believed that a horsehair placed in the water will eventually turn into a snake. Now, horsehair was also placed in milk to be ingested by the victim. Anvil dust placed in a victim's food will eventually cause snakes to grow inside of them, reflections. So it was believed that back when, even not even back when, this is still going on today, reflection. That's how you have to watch. Don't eat at everybody's house. You just never know, reflection. You just never know. You always want to pick up on good energy when ingesting, because your body is your temple. So anything that goes inside your temple, you should always be very cautious of it. Okay, so let's actually watch a video, and we're actually going to go back in another video. We're going to talk more about spirit cooking for everyone here who don't know what spirit cooking is. It's for a short version. It's a form of divination, but instead of using candles and crystals and different things like that, they use it in the food. Okay. So let me actually let you hear a story about this particular guy that and his grandmother actually practiced this particular she actually practiced voodoo. And with that being said, reflection, she actually had someone come to her who, as a little boy, he thought she was pregnant, but the whole time she wasn't. It was a snake inside of her. So let's give a listen at what he has to say.
My grandmother practiced this spirituality we call Haitian voodoo. Magie, she was a mystic, and her mother was a mystic, a mumbo voodoo woman came over to the house to get work done. Her stomach was pretty big, right? Pretty big. You would think that she's pregnant. If you see a woman with a big stomach, you may think that she's pregnant, not necessarily obese, because her stomach was poking. Well, she wasn't pregnant at all. When she came over to the house, already had tools ready, tools prepared for her, so they knew she was coming. They would do work for people. There was a metal, a silver, a trash can almost, or bucket, right? Water and leaves was in this bucket. Okay. Ritual was done. They told me to go in the room, okay, because I'm a little kid. They told me to go in the room, but I'm peeking, all right? I'm peeking through the door, and I'm seeing what's going on. Make a long story short, this woman, to my understanding, used the restroom in that bucket. What was in her stomach was no child. It was a snake. She passed out a snake. It was an actual snake that came and dropped in that bucket. Now my great grandmother, fixed her up and everything, healed her. I remember hearing the older people talking about she cheated, she was sleeping with a married man. So the wife either did the work or contacted someone to do that work on her.
Okay, reflection. So what do you think about that? What do you think about him explaining that not only that, reflection, his grandmother had actually did a lot of work dealing with people who had the conjure put on them, reflection. He had a lot of people as a child. He seen a lot of people come through. Sounds like his grandmother was a high priestess, and she actually cured a lot of people, reflection. Now, with that being said, I actually want to tell you, let me get you back on camera. With that being said, reflection, hit the like and subscribe button, you with the crew. Let's talk about people were not just the victim of this. Not only that, it was actually said that animals were actually being voodoo, reflection. They was getting that do you believe in magic put on them. So let me tell you a story coming out of Natchez, Mississippi, about a spiritual healer named Emily Gibson. Now, Emily Gibson advertised her ability to remove animals such as lizards, snakes, frogs, and insects from the inside of those stricken with conjure. Now, Gibson was alleged to have removed several things from inside of patients in the African American and white communities. Now, Gibson, however, would end up in trouble with the law when she was taken to court for obtaining money under false pretenses. She was acquitted of the charges and soon took her work some to 2 hours away. Now, not only that, let's go down to Birmingham, Alabama. Now, in Birmingham, Alabama, it was a phenomenon that surfaced at the time where they were finding snakes and lizards inside of animals. Reflections. Okay, you heard me right. Snakes and lizards were being found in the stomachs of certain animals. Now, 4 Black men were actually murdered, reflection, after it was believed that they were responsible for the deaths of 2 horses belonging to Sarah Moore of Birmingham, Alabama. Now, Moore told authorities, reflection. I said authorities, that she believed that her horses had been voodooed. Okay, they had that little bit "do you believe in magic" put on them, reflection. Okay, it says that she obtained a doctor to perform an autopsy on the animals. So after all her animals, reflection kept dying, she said, hold on, something ain't right about here. I believe it's a little bit, do you believe in magic going on? Let me get an autopsy and see what's going on. Because in order to know sometimes what's going on the outside, you need to look in the inside reflection. Okay. So she actually attained a doctor to perform an autopsy on the animals. Now the doctor discovered a small snake inside of one of the horse's stomach and a lizard inside of the other's reflections. Now, tragically, the mystical death of the horses took prominence over the importance of the four men who had been murdered. Now, as local papers explain in this section of the illing of the men in regarded as a matter of little importance. So no very determined effort had been made to solve the mystery of these four crimes. But everyone already knew reflection that they were took out because they thought because the owners of these particular animals thought that the men had conjured their stock reflection and they just might did because when they opened them up, they actually found a snake and a lizard. And it was actually being like not even then, now today, it is no reflection that if you find certain things, even when certain people they have certain exorcisms being done on them, things will come out of them. Strange things. Sometimes it'll be objects, maybe a pin, copper pin. It could be a dead horse fly. It could be anything. Reflection. It could be anything. Okay, depending on what that conjurer used. Remember, they would actually grind certain things up into a powder form, use spirit cooking, and have it manifest reflection inside of that person. We're talking about do you believe in magic? And you're over here at the night school. So reflection, until next time, make sure you stay safe out there and you never want to miss out on the video over here with the crew because today we are, or today or tonight, whenever you click this video, we are over here talking about do you believe in magic? We are talking about spirit cooking and we are talking about how certain people that practice magic will actually manifest certain things inside of your reflection. They don't have to literally put it inside of you as a whole form. It can literally be grind down to the smallest form and manifest into its whole form inside of you. We are talking about do you believe in magic? Remember, it's only magic if you can hide it in plain sight. So until next time, Ashe.